Hi, welcome back. Welcome me back. It's been 3 years since my first surgery, my prophylactic bilateral mastectomies, to help hopefully prevent breast cancer. I expected that surgery to be finished, the whole reconstruction process to be finished in about 4 months. Here we are 3 years later, and it's not done yet. As you can see, if you've been a fan or following the videos from the very beginning, in 3 years I'm a little older and I'm a little heavier and trying to be happier. Let's kind of recap what's happened in the last 3 years. So January of 2009, I had my mastectomies and my reconstruction. My reconstruction consisted of alloderm and expanders, which I had to have filled every week for several months. While I was going through the expander stage, I actually lost my job and my insurance, and so I wasn't able to have my implant swap until October. In October of 2009, I had my implant swap, and by November, my alloderm had failed, and one of my implants was sliding down my rib cage, and that had to be repaired. Let's see, so I went in and had surgery in January of 2010 to have the alloderm repair done, and that was, believe it or not, much more painful than the actual mastectomy. That was awful. They had to stitch the alloderm around my ribs, do some muscle repair, put in new implants, took the old ones out, put in new implants, and start over again. So by October of 2010, I realized that I was having what was called somastia, and that means that the muscle here that's usually attached to your breastbone and creates a division between your breasts or implants if you're a reconstruction patient, had let go, and so that creates what's called a uniboob, and it looks like you just have one boob really, because there's no division there. So I had that repaired, and oh my gosh, I can't even remember what month I had that repaired. It must have been February. It was almost a year ago. I had that repaired in February. I wore a thong bra for 6 months, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to try to keep that muscle pushed down onto my breastbone so that it would heal. And I was allowed to come out of the thong bra in August, and within 2 weeks I realized that surgery did not work. So now we have some problems, more problems. Now I'm back on my weight limit restriction. I can't lift anything over 25 pounds. I can't swim. I can't drive my race truck. I can't do anything basically using my arms. It's very frustrating. I can't bounce, I can't run, anything fun I can't do. So the problem is that somastia is fairly rare. There aren't a lot of doctors that can repair it. I've already tried to have it repaired once. There are only two other doctors in the state of Denver that do the repair. One of them was my very first surgeon. I'm not super comfortable with going back there for my own reasons. I've had, these problems could have happened to anybody. Did they happen because of my first reconstruction? I don't know. The second doctor in Denver works at University Hospital, and they're quoting me an 18-hour surgery, which 18 hours is a very long time for your body to be under anesthetics. My regular doctor recommends that I do not go that route. He also reminded me that when you have surgery at the University Hospital, you are kind of a teaching patient, so I would be, on display for a lot of physicians, and I'm not really comfortable with that. I've been doing a lot of research trying to find the right place to go, and I've settled on traveling to New Orleans to go to the Center for Restorative Breast Surgery. I want to show you a few things, though, that I have put together. First is all of the medications that I've been on in the last 3 years. Now this actually isn't all of them. This is just the ones that I've kept. This is my little list of medications. I had reactions, interactions. I had months where I haven't really been myself. Was being treated for all sorts of things, like fibromyalgia, depression, chronic pain, colon disorders. All of it came out to be interactions with my drugs. So if you are going through any of this and you are realizing that there are things in your body that aren't the same and there are things that have changed, take a good look, do the research on your own, find out if any of your drugs are interacting with each other. I had to get a copy of all of my records to send to New Orleans to try to get accepted into their practice. And I wanted to show you my medical records. These are my medical records from the last 3 years. I don't even know what to say. This doesn't include everything. This doesn't have the surgery reports and everything, but this has everything that I've been through in the last 3 years in it. And to me, that's a little ridiculous and scary and sad. So, let's get on to happier things. When I found out about the Center for Restorative Breast Surgery, and I started looking them up online, and was thrilled to see that they have surgeons that do procedures unlike anyone else. They can cut down the repair surgery that I have to have from 18 hours down to maybe 10, 8 to 10, which is huge when you're talking about your body being under anesthesia. I had to put together pictures and put together my records, send them information, and see if they felt that they would be able to help me. I did finally find out that they can help me, and I'm scheduled to go down there in March. I got my information packet yesterday from the center, and there's a few things I wanted to show you. The first thing that I pulled out was this. And it made me a little teary because I've been very afraid and I felt very much in the dark, and very worried that I was going to be in this physical condition for the rest of my life. So this is a little paper doll that says I'm in the dark, and when you start to open it, on the back it says, my doctor gave me options. And I feel like I finally have some options that can take some of the fear away and maybe help make things right. I love that on their front of their brochure. I love on the front of their brochure they have a woman swimming, which is one of my favorite things to do, and I can't do. And it says I was a caterpillar that turned into a butterfly, and that's been one of my favorite sayings since I started on this journey 3 years ago. But my favorite thing, and when I knew for sure that I was in the right place, was when I found this. And this is Facing Our Risk of Cancer at Empower, and this is a great resource for women who are facing hereditary breast cancer and ovarian cancer, BRCA testing. If you have the genetic predisposition for breast cancer, these people are a wealth of information and support. And whether you find their website or you find them on Facebook or you find me on Facebook and I help contact you or connect you with them, these are very important people in my life, and people that have given me a lot of direction and a lot of support. When I saw this, I cried a little bit. One thing that I get asked a lot is if I would still do the same thing, knowing what I know now, if I would still make the decision to have surgery, and if I would still be kind of an advocate for women who want to have preventative mastectomies and breast reconstruction. And I have to say, absolutely, I still would. No surgery is without risk. No procedure is without risk. Even now, even with the surgery that I've gone through, I could still get breast cancer. I have just done what I can to make my life better. If I have muscle issues that I'll have to deal with for the rest of my life, it would have been worse if I actually did get cancer, and a 40% chance of breast cancer is pretty high in my opinion. It's not been perfect, and it's been challenging, but I would still do it again if I had it to do over. The other thing that's very important is that this surgery and this journey has changed my life in so many ways and has introduced me to people that I never would have come in contact with without this experience, and I wouldn't give up those people or these experiences for anything. And maybe I had to go down a hard road to get here, but my life is much better than it's ever been because of the things that I've gained while going through some loss. It's all give and take, and it's all part of life, and I'm still very comfortable with the decision that I made. Next challenge for me is actually getting to New Orleans. To get to New Orleans, it's going to cost me between $4,000 and $8,000 out of pocket. My insurance is covering the procedure. I do have a large deductible, and I also have to get there and stay there and have someone stay there with me for 2 weeks to take care of me. I stay in the hospital for 3 to 5 days depending on how things go, but after that I have to be in a hotel or a care facility, and my insurance will not cover any of that. Some friends are doing some fundraisers for me, so that's pretty exciting. I'm having a pampered chef party where the proceeds will go towards my surgery. I have joined a group called 31, which has bags and things like that, which I love, but and I'm selling those to try to raise money. So I have like 6 weeks. It's a lot to do in 6 weeks, but I'm trying really hard, and we'll see what happens. So for right now, I am on the books to have surgery in March of 2013 in New Orleans, and we will let you know how that goes. Thank you so much for everyone's support and for contacting me and for following me and for giving me kudos, and for when I disappear and don't do videos for a while, keeping up with me anyway, sending me emails, encouraging me. I've had some pretty dark moments in the last 3 years, and I've lost my way, but I know that I'll be okay because I'm not alone, because I have my friends with me. So even those that I haven't met before. So thank you all so much for being with me, and I hope that pretty soon I'll have a happy ending for you. Thank you, and take care. Bye.